Many. The chair recognizes the right honourable member for North Abaco.
Much obliged, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, I just wanted to say that long before the member for Farm Road ever uttered the word national health insurance in the Bahamas, I was on board for it. He'd been Minister of Health for 5 years, 1977 and 1982, and the words never came out of his mouth in the public way, ever. Never came out of his mouth, ever, in those 5 years. Speaker, I was Minister of Housing and National Insurance for 2 years and a couple of months. And we began this program to introduce national health insurance. And both ministers of health that he had were on my committee. The member for Bain and Grandstown, and so was the former Minister of Health, Dr. Marcus Bettel. We promised in our manifesto that we would introduce a prescription drug benefit program as item number 1 in the F&M's 2007 manifesto commitment. On page 14, to enhance the quality of and access to health care, your F&M government will, firstly, establish a national health fund to assist with the purchase of prescription medicines for specified chronic illnesses. That is what we are delivering on today. We are delighted, Mr. Speaker, to be able to deliver on it. Others made many promises. They didn't deliver. I've said from my seat on a number of occasions that the government of the member for Farm Road may have made more progress if when Dr. Marcus Bettel proposed making Dr. Bernard Norris chairman of the committee, he didn't veto it. Instead, they appointed Dr. Perry Gomez. He vetoed that. And so Dr. Bernard Norris, when he came in 2 years or 18 months before the election, did the best he could. But he failed to deliver. We are today delivering on the promises which we made, which we are keeping. I was also pleased, Mr. Speaker, that the member for Farm Road mentioned the question of electricity in Abaco. What is happening with the electricity supply in Abaco is inexcusable. Inexcusable. There are no valid reasons why the power supply in Abaco the last several days has been off. I'm not an engineer. I am the Prime Minister of the Bahamas, though. Some people will pay for that neglect in Abaco. Our first priority is to get the power on, up and running. And then decisions will be made as to who was responsible for this grossly negligent act on the island of Abaco to permit engines to run out of fuel oil. O-I-L. I speak with Abaco accent, so it sounds like an H. that everybody knows that an engine requires oil. Everybody knows that. And for how to charter a plane or hire a plane to fly oil to Abaco to put in the engines and to cause the people of Abaco to suffer as they have is something for which somebody and some people must be responsible. When we find out, which ain't long from now, they will be dealt with. But I'm glad the member for Farm Road is concerned what happens to constituencies, because he represents Farm Road and Centerville. And he's concerned about the blackout in Abaco. But there are lots of houses in Farm Road and Bain Town and Centerville that don't have lights because they've been disconnected. I would have thought he would be interested in that. I would have thought he'd be putting forward suggestions about that, or about the garbage that I see strewn all over the place, etc. To the extent to which you are interested in Abaco, I'm delighted. Speaker, with those few words, I take my seat.
As many